Hello, passengers, and welcome to the Midnight Train, America's second favorite podcast where we bring the dark to light, where history never dies, and where listener discretion, well, you know, it's always advised. We dive into and make fun of and joke about the creepy and unsolved mysteries of the world, all while bringing you as much information on each topic as possible. Yes, we are a comedy podcast and things can get pretty dark, so if you're not into that, listen. It is what it is. You tried it out and you're like, this isn't my cup of tea. Next time, throw some whiskey in it. Maybe you'll be able to hang out. But if you are, listen, thanks for being here. All right, thanks for giving us a chance. Welcome aboard. I am your host, the conductor of the cryptic, Jonathan Sayer, and with me today, back again, is the one and only Mr. Muhu Dehe.
Yeah, buddy. How you doing?
How you doing? Are you stroking a narwhal?
I'm stroking my narwhal.
Talking to your mic, we can barely hear you.
What?
That's
not my problem.
There it is.
That's a you problem.
That's a me problem. That's a fuck you problem. So anyway, yeah, we are back on here and we're doing this thing. That's right.
This is like 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks. We're going to break a record.
Like a week and a half.
Yeah.
2 weeks and a half.
We're going to break a record this time, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks for being here. And listen, Patreon, we got a bunch of cool stuff. I got a bunch of fuck that guy and a couple of other cool little things. Plus, we have the second half of the worst horror movies of all time that we are going to finish up. We've got a lot of cool stuff. It's cool stuff. It's like cool.
I like cool stuff.
I like cool stuff too. Yeah. Anyway, all right.
You know what? That's why we like each other.
Yes, because I'm cool and you're cool.
That was the joke. Thank you for explaining it.
All right.
I appreciate it.
We will save the rest of the business stuff until the end. So let's just jump right into this. This is actually something I didn't know anything about until you had sent it over. And I'm just like looking at this.
I was going to surprise you with it.
I'm like, what in the shit is happening here? And I just think it's amazing that it's so recent. You know what I mean? It's prevalent right now. So I don't know. I thought that was rather neat, and we're going to dive into that.
I just I saw it, and I thought it'd be fun and different, and something that maybe you didn't know anything about, because I had never fucking heard of it until like 2 weeks ago. So
most definitely had not heard of it. So
yeah,
let's just jump right into it. Let's turn down the lights, adjust our seats, grab a drink, and let's get Havana Unana. That's why they're coming.
Oh, dear Lord.
You like to suck banana? No.
Oh, my gosh.
None of that. Anyway, but here's the first.
No.
A toast to all of you beautiful motherfuckers. I really hope this thing works this time.
It does say on the screen that the actual recording will be high quality. So there's that.
It's nasty. Ooh, it's nasty.
I don't even know what's going on. I can't hear a fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, we've got to figure out how to wire.
Assume there's music.
There is music actually playing right now. That you can't hear. I got to figure out how to wire it in. There's got to be a way. We'll figure it out.
As long as the people at home.
That's right.
The people at home can hear
That's
it.
right.
We're good to go.
The passengers heard that jazzy bass trap.
Was it jazzy?
No, not at all. It wasn't even close. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's no good then.
Yeah. All right. So typically here on this beautiful train, we like to talk about mysteries from history, right? We usually go way, way back and find our listeners the crazy shit from back in the day. But today, we're going to be bringing you guys some weird shit from, well, like I said earlier, more modern times. This tale starts in the year of 2016.
Boosh.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty relevantly close, I would say, correct? Yeah.
Yes, that is 7 years. So yeah.
Yeah. So it involves the governments of the United States and Canada and the country of Cuba. So that right there should tell you that's, going to be some weird shit.
Should be.
It should be, right. We're talking about something dubbed the Havana Syndrome. Reports started surfacing in 2016, and by 2017, more people, including U.S. intelligence and military personnel and their families, reported having symptoms of Havana Syndrome in their places, in workplaces, like, at home or wherever they were. So all over the world, actually. So China, New Delhi, India, Europe, Washington, D.C., all kinds of places were saying that this thing was actually, these symptoms were popping up. The syndrome, if you will. Right?
Yes.
So now, what exactly?
It is technically a syndrome.
Yes. It is a syndrome. And what is the difference?
I don't really know what that entails, but it's some, I don't know.
Wasn't that
the syndrome?
The bad guy's name, the kid from The Incredibles? Wasn't that his name?
Incredibles.
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm Syndrome.
His cape. It was the cape. The cape always is the undoing.
Yeah, that's it. It took him right away. All right, so let's get into the story, and we'll tell you guys what some of these symptoms are. So without further ado, we are going into the Havana Syndrome. So in late of 2016 in Havana, Cuba, U.S. and Canadian domestic personnel located in the city began to experience unexplained strange health issues. Okay, while symptoms varied, most reports generally started with a peculiar grating noise and pressure in one's ear. Okay, so it's a little,
right. I think I might have mentioned it later, but they say it's kind of like when you're driving and like somebody opens like one back window in your car and you get that like blah, 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 like that weird.
Oh, I hate that.
And it's really that they kind of likened some of the symptoms to that.
Oof, I don't like that at all.
Which would drive me fucking crazy. I don't know about you.
Isn't it kind of how like vertigo is too? Is that what happens with vertigo?
No. I speak from experience. You just get really dizzy and fucking throw up. That's it.
So not the same, is what you're saying.
Clearly.
Okay.
No,
not the same. So
vertigo is essentially, I felt like I was drunk for about 17 hours and it was awful.
That sounds not fun at all.
It was.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, I broke all my ribs. So there we go.
You had a little bad run of it. Yeah.
It wasn't great.
So now these symptoms seem to be coming from a specific direction and lasted only about 30 seconds, but still enough to be like, what the fuck, Others have experienced headaches, nausea, vomiting, prolonged hearing loss, fatigue, and even brain damage and loss of cognitive function. Those aren't good, I would say.
Clearly not good.
I would gather.
Brain damage is never the optimum choice.
Yeah, that's not one I would choose if I had to. So now the constellation of symptoms has been referred to as Havana Syndrome because of the location of the original events. Still, subsequent attacks on U.S. personnel have been reported in locations around the world, including Australia, Colombia.
I thought it was the same place.
No, those are two different
countries.
No, there's two different countries.
Oh.
But in fact, one's technically a continent.
Oh.
And the other one is where the Arnolds come from. Also, Georgia, Kyrgyzstan. Isn't that where my wife? Isn't that where he's from? No. Or is that Uzbekistan?
Kazakhstan, maybe?
Kazakhstan, that's what it is.
It's one of those.
Then Poland, Russia, Serbia, Taiwan, and Uzbekistan, which is not where Borat comes from, apparently. Sorry. So according to the NDU press, quote, also characterized as anomalous health incidents, or AHI. I've never heard of that before either, that term. Anomalous health incidents. At least,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. At least 2 cases were identified in the U.S., one involving a White House official while walking near her home in Northern Virginia, and one near the Ellipse in the District of Columbia, adjacent to the White House.
I'm sure it served them right. That probably did something to deserve it.
Yeah, well.
They're politicians, man.
Damn governments. Anyway.
Government came and took my baby.
Give me my cheese. So dozens more cases were reported among U.S. personnel in Vienna and Hungary in early 2021. And several cases were also reported in Vietnam, India, Germany, and in London. Okay? London. Hundreds more similar events have been reported as of late 2022. So we're talking just last year.
Still getting reports. Still coming in as of last year.
So after rigorous review, some of the reported illnesses were determined not to fit the defined criteria for this type of syndrome. Okay, so that's actually like end quote. That is the whole quote right there. They also go on to state, quote, those cases remaining were almost exclusively among U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, Department of Defense, and Department of State personnel and their family members, some of whom have left government service due to health complications attributed to the syndrome. So it seems
seems like there might be something there.
Yeah, like it's focalized on just those people in that aspect of the government, or at least government officials to begin with.
Intelligence, security, things of that nature.
Well, intelligence, vague term. Just saying.
Hey, government intelligence is a bit of an oxymoron at that point. So
let's just say that's their name and keep moving on. Okay. Liars. Anyway, as far as a timeline of events goes, this is what we kind of know. Okay. In Cuba, a few reports started to trickle in from U.S. diplomats in Havana about strange health issues. Diplomats. The diplomans and diplomens. You know what I'm saying?
A bunch of diplomats are just little bugs in suits just crawling around, fucking
with really cute dimples
and shit.
Diplo ants. I get it now. That's so bad. So by June of 2018, the number of reports of American citizens experiencing these issues was 26. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, if you think about it, and they're all kind of coming from the same area and the same, government officials are related to them and stuff, I mean, it seems at least it brings pause to one. Is what I'm saying.
John.
Correct.
John.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. John.
Yes.
One is too many, my friend.
One is also the loneliest number.
It's true.
It is.
Two can be as bad as one.
It can be.
It's the loneliest number since the number one.
Correct. Yes. So doubt that you guys all know that. So the events happened while the people were at home or in their hotel rooms, like we mentioned. And the strange part is that other guests and family members who were with the diplomats at the time of the occurrences were fine. Okay, showing no signs of health issues in any way, shape, or form. So it's weird how it almost like it picked certain people. Only certain people were getting these symptoms.
Almost like it was a directed attack, maybe?
I mean, I can't say or not say, but yeah, it sounds like it. So I don't know. As for the Canadian diplomats, damn it, I get it again, diplomats. Diplomats. The diplomats. Of course, the Canadian diplomats were very sorry to be a cause of burden and offered numerous apologies and plenty of maple syrup to make up for it. Wait. That was the wrong report. Sorry. 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 So the Canadians launched an investigation into their own folks getting sick as well. And there were 13 Canadians reported to have had symptoms of the Havana Syndrome. Okay, so right now we're
with the exchange rate, that's like 50 Americans.
Jesus, I almost spit my drink everywhere. Yikes. So in 2018, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that's right here in the U.S., the Canadian diplomat, why can't we say diplomats?
You're in your own head now, dude. All night it's going to be the same thing.
Oh, my God. I am so sorry for you people out there listening right now. I apologize. Diplomats, okay? In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Canadian diplomats underwent MRI scanning to see if anything could be found. So these guys, they're feeling this stuff and they're like, something's wrong. And so they go to get MRIs, right? And you know what an MRI is, right? Would you like to explain for those that don't know, Moody, what an MRI is?
They scan your brain or other parts of your body.
Okay, so yeah,
look inside and see what the fuck's going on, bro.
See if the nuggets are working correctly, and it gets like imaging and stuff, so they can see anomalies.
Basically, it takes like slices of your brain,
like
not literally.
Oh, okay, thank you, because that'd be weird.
They're like little, like it goes like in slices. You get little slices of your brain.
Little slices,
little bit by little bit.
Just slicing it up. Slicing up the brain.
Yeah. So, that's the nice thing about modern technology. They don't have to cut you open and literally slice your brain, any
longer.
Right.
Because That shit.
Shove a thing. Remember when we did the lobotomies?
Oh, yeah.
Like shove something up through your eye socket and then just scrape out the front of your brain.
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
That was do that anymore.
It was a good time in history.
Yeah, well, I mean, what else? What the fuck else were those people going to do?
Yeah, that's true.
It was like football back then.
It was like football?
Yeah, they just watched it. It was fun. It was entertainment.
Oh, okay. It was a sport, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, of course, they go in, they get these MRIs and whatnot, and an undisclosed number of Canadians showed evidence of brain damage on par with what the Americans were also showing. Okay, so seems kind of weird. At the time, the U.S. State Department stated that it believed the culprit could be exposure to an unknown sonic weapon, with some people speculating infrasound. Yes. That's infra.
I'm just going to assume you played something there.
I did. I hate that you can't hear them. Actually, I do. I'm just going to fuck with you the entire time. I'm just going to have Chainsaw saying, "What the fuck?" the entire time. Because he does that anyway.
Okay.
So now,
it's gonna be even worse than normal episode. Then.
No. So basically, they're saying that they're speculating that it could be a sonic weapon because they don't have any. There's no details of why or what would be causing that. There's nobody. They're not.
Right.
There's nothing that seems. I mean, other than the damage caused and the symptoms, there's nothing connecting these people physically that has happened to them in order for them to come up with some sort of hypothesis. So they're thinking that it's got to be something that's through sound waves or something like that. Which is crazy to even think about because nobody would ever do that, right?
Hey, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, sound is fucking crazy, dude. I did a lot of research into that at one point, and people they have sonic weapons, man. They have them. They're out there.
And remember,
they use them for crowd control in Europe at soccer games. It's pretty fucking awesome, actually.
And remember, there is that thing called the brown note.
It's physically impossible to make that brown note, though, unfortunately. Right now it is. I'm sure they'll be able to do it soon. But.
Coffee in the morning time tends to disagree with you. Sorry, moving on. Anyway. So they were careful not to blame the Cubans in their statements directly, but would not say who they believed to be the people and or country or whoever doing this, the culprits doing it, right? So then, old President Trump stated in 2017 that he thought the Cubans were behind the issue. Of course he did. The Cubans.
Yeah.
I swear it's the Cubans. And that was a horrible way. I don't know what impersonation that was.
Look, you used to have a pretty good Trump.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to him.
It's been a while. Well, it's because huge is there. Huge is there. But Cuban, you know what I mean? It doesn't work. Anyway. So, of course.
Same sound, though.
Yeah, I know. It's just weird. It's just weird. But of course, he comes out and says that he thinks that they were behind it. Okay. And in 2018, the United States decided to run a minimal crew in Cuba. Okay. Enough to get the job done as far as diplomatic relations and other politically motivated jobs were concerned. Okay. So they basically put a skeleton crew there and said, something's going on here. Somebody's we think or might be attacking our guys. So we're going to pull the majority of them out and just leave the necessary amount to do what needs to be done there.
Minimum amount of people needed to mitigate any other issues that may happen.
Minimum effort. Or is it minimal
maximum gain?
Yeah. Okay. Maximum overdrive.
Could be either, I suppose.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah, good movie.
That was a good movie.
I mean, terrible movie, but it's a great movie.
I loved it. I thought it was amazing. So in 2019,
There's a delay right now, just so you know.
Oh no!
That's why everything's a little behind. Like when I start talking, I can see you stop, but I've already started my sentence. So there's definitely a little delay right now. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
If things seem a little bit off, that's why.
Sorry, I was trying to fuck with you. I tried to freeze. Because we can actually see each other with this thing that we're doing right now. And if you guys are into it and you'd like to actually, the way this thing's supposed to be set up is that we can actually have you guys come in and kind of just watch us do what we do from different parts of wherever we are at some point in time. And if you guys are into that, let me know and I'll figure it out. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a special like live episode where we invite everybody to come and watch us as we do this dumb shit.
We do have the 200th coming up soon.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
In fact, what's it? Next episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Next episode. You are correct.
He said, yes. That's awesome. Yeah, 200, man. That's awesome. And thank you guys for sticking around for those that have. So now, additionally, in 2019, several Canadian diplomats decided that they was going to get paid and sued the Canadian government for failing to keep them safe. Okay. So the Canadian government tried to settle by, generously offering Tim Hortons gift certificates, an abundance of ketchup chips, and free hockey tickets. But the settlement was rejected, as one might assume. Yeah. So the Canadian government sought to dismiss the case and charges by denying they were negligent and claiming they didn't neglect their duties toward their employees. Okay, because they don't know what the hell's going on.
No,
right?
Absolutely right. It's not their fault.
Right. So they did, however, acknowledge that some employees did exhibit, quote, concussion-like symptoms, but also said no definitive medical diagnosis was ever made and that they were continuing to investigate. Okay, so that's what's happening over there in Canada. Okay, so what about the Cubans? Ah, yes, Cuban B.
Cuban B.
Well, the Cubans...
I said that in my head like 50 times.
Well, the Cubans denied everything, of course. And they denied involvement, they denied knowledge of the health issues, and they denied having an affair with the U.S.'s wife. I mean, it just wasn't pleasant. It wasn't a good thing, okay? However, they agreed to cooperate with U.S. officials to investigate all of the shit that's going on. So they launched their investigation with their own scientists and health officials, and they would interview and examine hundreds of witnesses. What?
I would love to hang out with a big group of Cuban scientists. Like, what would that be like, do you think?
I would hope a ton of rum and cigars.
I just picture like a bunch of dudes in like chinos and button-down Hawaiian type shirts. Shit, just like talking about.
But
like,
smart as fuck.
I don't know.
Yeah, but like super, super smart. Yeah, that'd actually be pretty fun. As long as there's cigars involved.
Well, I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Cigars and dude.
Yeah, I like that shit.
It'd be like fucking I don't even know. Whatever. Let's go.
What? Did you just stroke out?
I had a train of thought going and it just kind of went away.
You know what? It would be like, I don't know. Forget it.
I had it. It was here. And then it was just kind of like,
yeah, poof. It happens.
And it went away. And it's late and I'm tired.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So now, again, they would interview and examine hundreds of witnesses, and they checked out the hotels, the workers themselves, and other non-diplomats that, like hotel workers and other workers that may have been affected by, whatever was fucking happening. So they claim to have taken air and soil samples for testing. They took many different things into account and checked tons of other, perspective elements and whatnot. But the Cubans couldn't find anything to link back to the health issues. The Cubans claimed that the U.S.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. They claimed that the U.S. would not cooperate as far as the diplomats' medical records and also denied them access to the locations where the diplomats were living at the time of the incidences. Okay.
Incidences.
So it seems like, they're just not getting along, and it's like, well, we can't tell you where they're staying. We can't tell you where it happened because
but I mean,
then you'll know.
Don't you think the Cubans would have known where the Americans were staying?
No.
What are you doing?
I'm reaching for something. Why would they know where they're staying?
If you're okay, listen. Like, all I'm gonna say is, if you have a bunch of foreign diplomats in your country, you can't tell me that you don't know where they're at and you don't have tabs on them. You can't tell me that like America doesn't know where all these fucking foreign diplomats are at any given time, right? Like, come on.
And Cuba's not that
like,
big.
You tell me that
right?
we don't know where all these rando foreigners are staying that are like, high up in politics and suppose, you know what I'm saying? Like they know, they fucking know. They had to have known.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't there.
If they didn't know, they're fucking terrible government.
Well, maybe they were just too busy smoking those beautiful cigars and, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It does seem weird they wouldn't know where, like, the diplomats' families would be at. You know what I mean?
I mean, they have scientists, right? They're smart enough to figure some things out.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. So, whatever. So, addressing the U.S.'s initial claims of some focused energy weapon, a panel of Cuban scientists stated that, quote, no known form of energy can cause brain damage with laser-like spatial accuracy under the conditions described for the alleged incidents described in Havana, end quote. So there. The Cubans say nothing funny went down.
That's what as far as the Cuban scientists know.
Cuban B. So that's all some weird shit, right? Everything that we've talked about so far. And this has literally just happened within the
strange.
Yeah, the past 7 years and currently. So oddly enough, this wasn't just isolated incidences confined to Cuba. As we stated earlier, reports of symptoms came in from across this tremendous flat earth of ours here. And oddly enough, I'm kidding. We are totally kidding. Please, no emails. No.
Are we?
Yeah, we did an entire episode on that. Yeah. So oddly enough, many of the reports of symptoms from China, India, and even Washington, D.C. were being reported in 2021. There were incidents involving some higher-ups in the government, and one such incident delayed a visit to Vietnam by Kamala, the former WWF wrestler. Wait. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's Vice President Kamala Harris is what I apologize. I apologize. Yes, not the Ugandan headhunter.
I love that you know that.
Of course. In that case, several people at the embassy in Hanoi were evacuated due to displaying Havana Syndrome symptoms. In another interesting case, U.S. diplomats in Vienna reported Havana Syndrome symptoms as well. And aside from Cuba, go ahead.
I believe in Vienna, it was because of the sausages that they were getting sick.
The canned sausages.
Yes. The Vienna sausages.
The canned potted meat sausage.
Why do you always have to explain the jokes?
Because I don't know if anyone gets that. I used to eat them shits. All right.
Look, it's not my problem if they don't get the fucking jokes, dude.
Do you hear this? I got your back. I got your back, folks.
That's what fucking Google's for, dude.
What the fuck is a Vienna sausage?
Why is he talking about sausages? What the fuck does that even mean?
It's not a very big sausage, I'll tell you that much. It's smaller than my stogie. So anyway, they're delicious. But moving on. So basically, so it's happening there as well. So aside from Cuba, Vienna had also claimed the most cases in one spot of this syndrome, according to NPR. So NPR also reported that the CIA had removed its station chief in Vienna, in part because of his handling of cases involving what's known as, again, the Havana Syndrome, in an article published in September of 2021. As reported by the Washington Post, the station chief had expressed skepticism. Dude, I'm telling you, they're used to it. But anyway,
the diplomats were skepticism.
Fuck. Anyway, so he had expressed skepticism about the. I did it again. Stop fucking with me. You know what the funniest part about this is? I haven't had a single drop of alcohol.
I'm watching you. You've been drinking for the last half hour.
Oh, but have I?
Yeah, that is clearly alcoholic. It's an old fashioned.
Right. You might want to look real close at the underlying label there.
It says, John is a dick face.
It does not. It says non-alcoholic pour over cocktail. I found out
what kind of lame shit is that?
I got, we'll discuss it later. I just got some bad news from the doctor. So,
Is your liver exploding?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. I'll be all right.
That's good then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, they're basically saying that, this guy says that he was, everyone was saying, hey, you fucked up on doing this or whatever. And so they basically just said, piss off. Right. So now, as reported by the Washington Post, the station chief had expressed his skepticism about the ailments and was criticized for not taking faster action. He wasn't like acting fast enough, and they were just like, because a lot of people really thought or still think that this is actually, there's something to this. And this guy's just kind of like, meh, meh, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very meh attitude.
Correct. So in an interview with NPR in July of that year, CIA Director William Burns said finding the cause of Havana Syndrome and identifying those behind the attacks were top priorities. The NPR article also says, quote, the government has not released figures on the number of cases, but media reports now put the total at more than 200. And that was at the time of the article in 2021.
Correct. And I believe there's been more reports of cases since then.
It's just insane that I haven't heard about this.
It was tough to really find anything after like the 2021. Like there was maybe a few that I saw like reported, but they still weren't like confirmed that they were the Havana Syndrome.
It's just wild. Like seriously, I've never heard even a stitch about this. So, okay.
That's crazy.
Now that you beautiful passengers know what Havana Syndrome, Havana Syndrome is, the big question on everyone's mind is, hey, who gives a fuck? Well,
yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking.
Right. But we give a fuck. And since we give a fuck, you have to listen to us as well.
Do we, though?
That's kind of, well, you have to because you're here. So, well, you're not here, but you're there. You're shut up. Anyway.
Where?
There. Here, wolf. Werewolf.
When will then be now?
Now is now.
We're looking at now.
It's the radar, sir. It's been jammed. Sorry. Jesus.
Raspberry.
By the way, drink, because that was a lot in there. So if you guys are listening, you guys have to have a drink.
That's like a whole fifth worth right there.
Yeah, you guys should be.
That's a full fifth worth.
Catching a buzz at this point. So, okay. Since we do care here, where our big question is, what is causing this bullshit to happen, okay? Could it be mental illness?
Yeah.
Could it be Russia, Cuba, Iran, or some other rogue country hell-bent on irritating the shit out of the U.S.? It's possible.
Possible, yeah.
Could it be poison in food or water, poison gas, poisons every rose has its thorn? I mean, the options are endless, okay?
That song would drive me fucking crazy.
Yeah. Now, could it be natural phenomenon? Could it be magnetic field disruptions or maybe even crickets? Yeah.
What?
Crickets. That is
crickets.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. So let's jump in here and look at some of the theories that are floating around, okay, and what may be causing these I don't know, invisible ghost dicks going in people's ears. I don't know, because maybe that's what it is.
Is that what the medical definition of it is?
Yes, it's invisible ghost dick.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't know it's IGD syndrome is what they changed it to.
I told you it was hard to find updates, but I must have missed that one.
Because they changed it. They change it all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The second another theory pops up, it's like...
That's the thing. I was looking for Havana Syndrome when I should have been looking for invisible ghost dicks.
That's my point.
And that's... Right. So I
yeah.
apologize. That's a miscalculation on my end.
Yes.
I am sorry.
We'll let you go this time, but perhaps next time just do better research. Okay.
I will. I appreciate it. I'm sorry.
All right. So first up, let's talk about microwaves, right? You know, those things you like to get up there and remember when they told you not to stand too damn close to the microwave as a kid. Well, as that may sound kind of ridiculous. It's not a tumor. Those are my cookies. Two totally different movies, but still Arnold, so it counts.
Yes.
So a lot of people, you may think that it's actually silly to be, don't stand too close to it, but it's actually based on reality. Microwaves can affect humans, okay? So according to an article on MIT Press Direct, a study of symptoms from those claiming Havana Syndrome mimicked those received from exposure to microwaves, okay? So the article assessed whether pulsed radio frequency microwave radiation, which is RF or MW, okay? RF radio frequency, RF, yeah, gotcha. Exposure, it's not like the IG.
Move it along, buddy.
Sorry.
Move it along.
So anyway, this exposure can accommodate reported facts in the diplomats, including, the unusual ones, the crazy ones. So the observations from the article were as follows, okay? So, 1, noises. Many diplomats heard chirping, ringing, or grinding noises at night during episodes, reportedly triggering health problems. Some reported that noises were localized with laser-like precision or said the sounds seemed to follow them within the territory in which they were perceived. Okay, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all had that weird...
that the eyes follow you around the room, you know, but it's noise.
It's in your ear. Yeah, that's just horrible.
Right.
And we've all had that ringing sensation in your ear where my grandmother used to say that, oh, someone's talking about you, you know.
Yeah,
so
that's called tinnitus, and it's actually a medical issue. So
I'm dying, is what you're saying?
Yeah, could be.
Sweet.
I have it too.
Oh.
It's all those years of hedonism and loud music.
Rock music. So so it followed him around and stuff, right? So the pulsed RF MW engenders these apparent sounds via the Frey effect, F-R-E-Y, Frey effect. Perceived sounds differ by head dimensions and pulse characteristics and can be perceived as located behind, in, or above the head.
So if you got a bigger head, you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's exactly what they're saying. So the ability to hear these sounds depends on high frequency hearing and low ambient noise. Okay, so maybe some people can't even hear this.
Yeah, I would be good because my high frequency hearing is shot. So, I mean.
Huh? Huh?
Exactly. Do you know, here's a quick little bit of trivia for all you guys out there. If you want to find somebody with, in general, this isn't, you know, obviously there's outliers, but in general, if you want to find somebody with the best hearing range from high to low and everything like that, you need to find yourself a roughly 10 to 13-year-old girl. They tend to have the best like range of hearing.
Really?
Yes.
Is that not a male? It has to be a female.
Females to like pre-teenish to like early teen, like females generally have like the best like range of hearing. They can hear the highest and lowest frequencies.
Huh. That's crazy. I did not know that.
Which I always thought was kind of strange, but you know.
It is weird. But yet they still can't hear you when you're yelling from across the room.
Well, I think that's a kid thing. You know?
Well, come here.
There's this thing called the parent frequency, which is apparently completely
turned off,
blocked out. And yes.
There is nothing more infuriating than I yell for them and then I hear, "Huh?" from the other room. If I'm yelling your name, come to me. Like come to where my voice is coming from. Damn it. Oh, anyway.
You yell upstairs. It's just like, what do you want?
Yeah.
I fucking want you to come down.
Yes, I wouldn't be yelling your name. Shit. Oh. Okay, so number 2 on this list here. Signs and symptoms. Hearing loss and tinnitus. Hey, we just talked about that. Are prominent.
Maybe we got it, babe.
Maybe. I don't know. You said you definitely do.
Oh, I have tinnitus. I'm saying maybe that's maybe I have Havana Syndrome.
Do you have any like flowered shirts and want to smoke cigars on immediately?
I do have some sweet Hawaiian shirts.
Yep, you got it. So moving on.
I do have a Hawaiian shirt with my face all over it.
Yes, you do. I have actually seen this. Yes, you do.
It was my Christmas shirt for last year. It was awesome.
That's pretty amazing. So the hearing loss and tinnitus are prominent in affected diplomats and RFMW affected individuals. Each protein symptom that diplomats report also affects persons reporting symptoms from the RFMW. Okay, like sleep problems, headaches, and cognitive problems, and it dominates everybody in those two groups. Okay, so sensations of pressure or vibration are also a part in both of those groups. Okay,
all right,
just weird.
So they're saying. So basically, what that whole thing said was that the symptoms from the Havana Syndrome people are essentially mimicking symptoms of people that have been exposed to the microwave radio waves. Right? Is that what that is?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And both encompass vision, balance, speech problems, and nosebleeds. So brain injury and brain swelling. There was some brain swelling and brain injury reported in both of those too. So it's kind of wild, man.
Correct. The Canadians apparently were really fucked up, you know?
Yeah. So let's talk about mechanisms. Number 3 on this. Oh boy. Oxidative stress. did I get that right? Oxidative? Oxidative.
You look, dude, you got to remember, you have it in front of you. I don't.
All right. I think
I can't help you, man.
All right. So this stress provides a documented mechanism of RFMW injury compatible with reported signs and symptoms. What is this thing? Sequelae of endothelial dysfunction, which is yielding blood flow compromise, membrane damage, blood-brain barrier disruption, mitochondrial injury, apoptosis. It's apoptosis. Okay, and I had to check this one out. That's actually the death of the cells, which occurs as a standard and controlled part of an organism's growth or development. So basically, the cells just die off. Yeah, and autoimmune triggering of all these things kind of are their downward or downstream mechanisms, as I call it, of varying persistence that merit investigation. So in other words, people are getting these things, and certain things are happening to them, and that's why everyone's freaking out about this. Okay, and lastly, and most importantly, number 4 of note. Microwaving of the U.S. Embassy in Moscow is historically documented. What are you laughing about? Did I read something incorrectly? Did you fuck up? Then what?
No.
Oh,
you're good.
You sure? No, what is it? You have to say it now. Yeah. That shit-eating grin and laugh says something. What? What happened?
Just go, dude. It's fine.
All right. So, yes. We actually, this actually happened, apparently. The Russians microwaving the U.S. Embassy in Moscow is a fact. It's referred to as the Moscow Signal. During the Cold War, the Soviets beamed microwaves at our embassy in Moscow for decades. And it's uncertain exactly when it started, although the first use of microwaves to activate a bugging device in Spaso House, the ambassador's residence over there in Moscow, okay, it's basically his house. They discovered this in 1951. So 1951, they're actually sending microwave waves directly to the embassy.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So there were
definitely nuts.
There were other reports that the Soviets were beaming microwave at Spaso House during Vice President Richard Nixon's visit to Moscow in 1959. And as for the embassy, reports in the unclassified realm could be obviously better. And it is known for sure that the Soviets were bombarding the upper floors of the central wing of the Chancery in the 1960s. Still, it's equally possible that microwaves were used against the embassy much earlier than that. And it says that the U.S. actually moved into the Chancery on Garden Ring Road in 1953. So they could have been doing it way prior to that. Shortly after the initial discovery.
It could have been happened, yeah.
Yeah, like, wait.
There's a delay, and now it's all fucking weird, dude.
You're weird.
I started talking and you're already on to the next thing, and then you have to stop and go back, and now I feel like a dick face, and then that's where we're at, dude.
You should feel normal.
I don't know, man. It's not where I want to be right now, like I just want to be in that headspace. So
shortly after the initial discovery, they actually implemented a bunch of stuff to kind of block the radiation. So they put a bunch of stuff in there, and whether it was insulation or whatever to kind of block the microwave radiation that was being shot at the embassy.
Correct.
See, I waited for you on that one. Yeah,
I know. I appreciate it, and all I could come up with was correct.
Ooh, engaging. That's
what I'm here for.
That's right.
That's why you people have me around.
Mm-hmm. So after that was done, it showed that the microwave level had increased. While no health complications were directly linked to this incident, it shows that microwaves have been used for whatever reason against the U.S. in the past, okay? So we also found another article about using microwaves as a weapon, okay? It reads, quote, in 1996...
Were you expecting me to say...
I was waiting. I was trying to be nice and wait for you. Yeah, I was. It's going to be funny when we go back and listen to it and it sounds perfect.
I'm just going to interrupt. Oh my God. Yeah, right? There's no delay. Everything's like spot on.
Right.
And they're like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah. So this article reads, quote, in 1996, Michael Beck and a colleague at the National Security Agency were sent to a hostile country on a brief assignment. After being detained at the airport for about an hour, they were allowed to go, but they knew they were being closely watched. A few days into the assignment, Beck woke up at his hotel feeling terrible. He says it was extreme fatigue and weakness. I was a bowl of jelly and couldn't get moving. He was suspicious of the cause, but the symptoms, they went away. An entire decade later, Beck was diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's disease at the age of 46.
Ugh.
That sucks. At almost
that's not good.
Yeah. At almost the same time, his colleague from that trip, Chuck Gubete, received the same diagnosis. Gubete, who died several years later, had a family history of Parkinson's, but Beck didn't. So Beck didn't have any a history of Parkinson's in his family. But this, are you laughing at Parkinson's?
No, I'm laughing. I'm just laughing, dude. This whole situation.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We'll get it figured out. We had to pause for a second and come back in right in the middle of that.
It's been like a half hour, dude.
They don't know that. To them, it was a split second.
They know now.
Now they do because you brought light to it.
It was fucking funny, dude. The whole thing was stupid.
Okay, so Beck came to believe that his illness was caused while on that trip. Okay, so the trip that he actually, had or whatever, and his buddy actually got Parkinson's as well from it. And he filed a workers' compensation claim with the NSA. As part of the process, the NSA sent Beck a short but striking letter in 2014.
Oh, striking.
Yes, it says, quote, the National Security Agency confirms there is intelligence information from 2012 associating the hostile country to which Mr. Beck traveled in the late 1990s with a high-powered microwave system weapon that may have the ability to weaken, intimidate, or kill an enemy over time and without leaving evidence.
Wow.
That came from the NSA.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. And it goes on to say, quote, this weapon is designed to target the living quarters in microwaves, causing numerous physical effects, including a damaged nervous system.
That is Parkinson's.
That's crazy that they're straight up like saying...
They just straight up admitted to it.
Yeah, we know there's something happening over there.
They done fucked you up, son.
Yeah, what the fuck? So there's precedent for countries using microwaves for nefarious purposes. Yeah, we just showed you. And I'm sure we've obviously done it well. The U.S. has to have tampered with that a little bit.
I mean, dude, of course.
Yeah. So mass hysteria and job-related stresses were also mentioned as possible causes. I was thinking that too, like mass hysteria, because, I mean, it does happen. Someone's like, oh, I heard you did this and this is happening. Oh, I've had those same, symptoms. Oh,
right.
And then all of a sudden everyone's,
And that's what I feel like that, like when they said that they had a bunch of cases, but then like only a few of them were really presented and shown to be like legit Havana Syndrome. Like,
right.
I have a feeling that a lot of those were like, oh my God, I was fucking feeling weird one day and now I have it too. But it was just like, a fucking hangover or something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so not too many people obviously are subscribing to those theories, and so it's a bit implausible given the real effects shown to have occurred in many of these cases. The term mass psychogenic illness has been used to describe a group of people who feel ill at the same time, although there's no physical or environmental explanation. People who fear they've been poisoned, for example, may feel nauseous, although they are 100% fine. It's subconscious, man. Your psyche can totally fuck you up. It's the same thing like when everyone around you's sick and you're like, dude, I cannot get sick. And then all of a sudden you're like,
you start to feel like shit.
Yeah, exactly. Am I sick? Yeah. Oh, my throat's sore. Stop it. It's not.
Yeah, you're fine. It's just you're
Yeah.
Start losing your shit about it.
It happens. So people who figure, again, about the poisoning stuff, it just happens all over the world. Everybody does that. So the 200 or so patients diagnosed with Havana Syndrome point out that many of them have concussion-like symptoms, however, and dismiss suggestions that it's just all psychological. Okay? Like they actually have...
I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They show concussion-like syndromes. Like that's weird.
So the idea that sufferers are malingerers who are just pretending to be sick.
I love that word.
Malingerer. That's actually a word they use in court. That like when you're pretending to be psychotic or whatever.
It's like
that's
the legal definition. Yeah.
Yeah, you're malingering.
It's a great word.
You bunch of fucking malingerers.
I'm just gonna use that as an insult from now on.
You're a fucking malingerer, dude.
Because most people have no clue what that means.
Like, what'd you call me?
If someone's giving you shit, you're just like, whatever, you fucking malingerer. They'll be like, what? Wait, what?
I like it. I like it.
Like, what the fuck? They're gonna, and you know it's gonna fuck them up to the point where they're gonna leave and they're gonna have to go look that shit up.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's gonna be even funnier because it won't make sense to them. They'll be like, "That I'm not pretending to be sick. What the fuck is this guy talking about?" And then like by that point, it's so long gone, like you're never gonna see that guy again, and he's got no chance to like figure out what the fuck that was all about.
And that is
you're you're in his head for the rest of his life.
It's what we call the long game. That's what that is.
Psychological long game torture.
So they have, brought that out that people were malingering, but Havana Syndrome has affected a group of highly motivated people, many of whom want to return to work despite their doctor's orders to stay home. So if you're malingering and using it because, I don't want to go to work, it doesn't seem to be, this is not that case, or at least in most of these people.
Right. People are still trying to like go on with their lives and go back to work and do their thing and be normal,
right?
For I guess all intents and purposes.
So sonic weapons have also been poised, that we've kind of talked about earlier, to be the cause. An article from The Guardian in 2021 states, quote, German police are investigating an alleged sonic weapon attack against the staff of the U.S. Embassy in Berlin in the latest in a growing number of incidents of Havana Syndrome around the world. So they're actually looking into this.
Sonic, what now? To talk about sonic weapons, is there any mention of sonic hedgehogs?
No, but they did say something about sonic youth.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, just figured. Yeah. So
that would kind of be along the lines of a sonic. You could use that as a sonic weapon, I suppose.
Yes, you could, as well as the ring sounds from Sonic the Hedgehog. As he's running. That could be a sonic weapon.
Oh, that'd be fucking torture, dude. Just listen to that over and over again.
Listen to that damn movie was torture. All right, so yeah, wasn't a fan.
See it.
Oh, dude, it's
no.
My opinion. Right. Sorry, allegedly. So the police statement, which said the investigation had been underway since August, was issued on Friday in response to a report in Der Spiegel, which said the inquiry into at least 2 cases had been opened on the basis of evidence handed over by the U.S. Embassy. End quote. So, I mean, there's some actual tangible evidence and people looking into this. It's not just some, it's not fodder for the internet,
No, these are actual, they're trying to, look, they're as confused by this as we are. Cause oh my God, sorry about that. We don't, obviously us listening to this and going through this and reading about this is there's a lot of shit that even the explanations that we don't understand. Like when you start to get into the whole microwave in sonic, just using the sonic waves and things like that as a weapon, the science behind that is confusing as fuck.
Right.
You can dumb it down, but there's so much more going on. So if we're confused by it and they're confused, it means even more that they're confused and they can't figure out what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, for sure.
There's definitely something weird happening, and even the fucking government can't figure it out, right?
All the governments can't figure it out,
right? And it's not just, that's the thing. It's not just us investigating. This is many different countries that have come together at some point, put their minds together to figure this out, and there's still no definitive answer.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes it a little bit more what the fuck, Right. Because they have theories. Honestly, that's all they have.
Right. And honestly, if it is a certain country or people doing it, it's even more kind of impressive that it hasn't been figured out yet. Because usually something like this, a couple of years in, someone's you either find a snitch, somebody spills the beans somewhere, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things, something like this doesn't usually last that long before somebody figures it out.
Right.
Right. At least not in this day and age. Maybe back in the 50s when they were talking about the whole Russian and the microwave thing, it might have taken a little bit longer to figure that out.
Yeah. I mean, advanced technology and everything.
With all the technology, you would think that if it was some sort of advanced weapon, especially a sonic weapon or something like that, we would be able to kind of backtrace that, figure out what it was.
Right. Yeah, right? Yeah. That makes sense.
No one's been able to do that. No one's been able to figure that out.
It is wild. So now another guess is that it's toxins. Okay. So Israeli and Canadian researchers released a 2019 report raising the hypothesis that about 24 Canadian diplomats and their families may have been overexposed to insect spray as a plausible cause of Havana Syndrome. The study details the nature of the injury, specifies the brain regions involved, including the blood-brain barrier, and suggests a cause in the form of, oh boy, these words, cholinesterase inhibitors with organophosphorus insecticides. I got that one, though.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, thank you.
That was good.
So those are being the likely source of this. So the cholinesterase, or whatever it is, and I'm totally butchering that word or whatever, it's CHE is what it's also known as, is one of the key enzymes required for the proper functioning of the nervous systems of humans, invertebrates, and insects. Okay, so it's basically saying that this insect spray, is damaging those enzymes, and so it's just fucking your nervous system up. Which is probably what company was it? They just recently got sued because everyone
Roundup. Yeah, Roundup with all their fucking bug sprays.
Yeah. So I mean, it's possible. So it says
like back in the day when they used to fucking spray DDT.
Oh yeah,
all over the crops and shit like that, and it was just killing everybody.
I know, it was just a bunch of dudes running around like, wrestling pants, just dropping DDTs on everybody.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Jake the Snake, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So now they say, quote, "We were also able to test several of the subjects before and after they returned from Cuba," says Dr. Alan Friedman. Quote, "Our team saw changes in the brain that definitely occurred during the time they were in Havana." So they're saying that that's the. But there were a lot of people that didn't go to Havana, though. It started off there.
Well, see, so that's my thing when they're talking about like this one, like this theory, like it may fit for the people in Cuba. Sure. Okay. I get that. Right. But what about the people in fucking Vienna? What about the people in India? What about the people in fucking China and fucking Taiwan? And like those other, like, what are the, like, you know what I mean? And like, those were confirmed to be Havana Syndrome symptoms. Like they are, the government acknowledged that those were Havana Syndrome symptoms, right?
Right.
So how can you, like, I understand that they think that might work, right? But they are only talking about the Canadians and the Americans in Cuba. They're not talking about anybody else.
Right. It fits that narrative.
So while that may be plausible for that area, you can't extend that to the rest of these cases.
Unless every one of those
is where that falls flat.
Unless every single one of those places are using the exact form of insecticide.
Right, but half those places probably don't need it.
Right.
Right? Like, yeah. Do you think there's the same... are they spraying for the same shit in Vienna that they're spraying for in fucking Cuba?
No, because they'll fuck up their sausages.
What the hell kind of bugs do they even have in Vienna, dude, honestly?
The non-sausage eating ones. I have no idea what kind of bugs they have over there. Big muscle-bound ones. Walk around going, chop, chop, motherfucker. And
fucking cockroaches look like pit bulls and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So Friedman and his team attribute the study's findings to multidisciplinary and quantitative research methods, mainly using new brain imaging tools, including advanced magnetic resonance imaging, which is the MRI that we talked about earlier, and the techniques, and, oh boy, magnetoencephalography. That may be one of the longest words I've ever seen.
I can't even begin to pretend like I know where you're going with that one.
It looks like magnetoencephalography.
Yeah. Magnetoencephalography?
Maybe that's what it is. I just have to tear it down. That's it. So, quote, "We followed the science, and with each discovery, we asked ourselves more questions," says Friedman. Pinpointing the exact location of where the brain was injured was an important factor that helped lead us to perform specific biochemical and toxicological blood tests and reach the conclusion that the most likely cause of the injury was repeated exposure to neurotoxins, end quote. So this dude's basically saying, like, okay, that's what it is.
So he's convinced. He's convinced that it's, yeah.
Right. Now,
I'm not, but whatever.
Right. Now, Cuba was aggressively spraying for the Zika virus at the time, but those affected said the report raises more questions than it answers, and Cuba denies any suggestion of any kind of attacks. And we said it earlier, like they're not They're not trying to intentionally do this anymore.
In case they're trying to say, like, they're spraying that shit on purpose to make us sick or whatever the case is.
Right. Now, we mentioned the crickets earlier.
Yeah. That's kind of what happens when we put out a new episode. That's the response. That's what we were getting at.
The crickets?
The crickets.
Chirp, 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 chirp. All right, so could this entire thing be caused by something completely innocent? Kevin Fu, an electrical and computer engineering professor at Northeastern University, says the real cause is simple. Yep, crickets.
Crickets.
So, quote, the greatest contender...
A bunch of dudes with weird bats running around playing? Is that what they're saying?
Not cricket players, no, the insects. Insects.
Oh.
Not yet. No.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
There
it is. There it is. You got it. All right.
Crickets.
So, quote, the greatest contender right now is the short-tailed West Indies cricket, which has a chirp that's extremely annoying to the point where it can cause harm to you. This is what this Fu says.
Just like my wife, huh? I heard it that time.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's worth. Yay! Good. So, quote, that's
the for that.
Yeah. Quote, that's the theory I'd put my money on, but it's still unsolved. In my opinion, it's not likely it's a nation state trying to deliberately cause harm. He's saying it's something innocuous someplace, like nothing is being deliberately done. This is something that's just happening in nature or whatever it is.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like he's being paid off by whatever that nation state is.
The government. The government's paying off food.
That's right, man.
Yep.
They're like, you fucking go out there and you tell these motherfuckers it's cricket. And he's like, wait, you want me to tell them that this is crickets? And they're like, if you know what's fucking good for you and your family, you'll go out there and tell these idiots that it's crickets.
Mm-hmm. And he said, okay.
And he's out here telling people it's crickets.
That's how it went down. Allegedly. Yeah. So initially...
Please don't go after Mr. Fu and tell him that he's
poor Mr. Fu. I just imagine this dude with a great big, like from Kung Fu, with the great big like long white beard, where he flips it out first before he beats your ass with a bottle, you know? So initially in 2018, Fu performed experiments with ultrasound that showed how Havana Syndrome could be the result of, quote, malfunctioning ultrasonic eavesdropping devices. Since these experiments, though, he's come around to the whole cricket theory because, well, why the fuck not? And he's probably being threatened.
That's it right there. Yep. He was fucking onto something.
And they were like...
And they got him. And they were like, you better watch your shit. It was fucking crickets.
Yeah. So, Mr. Fu, what was it again? I believe it is from the malfunctioning ultrasonic eavesdropping devices.
I don't think you understand what we're asking you, Mr. Fu.
No, but it's the devices.
What is the cause?
Yeah.
No. Okay. You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm going to come to your house tonight and I'm going to murder your dog. And then you're going to tell me what is the cause of this whole thing.
It's crickets.
It was crickets. Thank you for that, sir. I'm glad that we finally figured this out.
It's crickets. And he just walks away. It's crickets. He's like, fuck. So Fu is one of many who subscribe to this theory. A declassified report from Jason, Jason, an independent group of elite scientists that advises the United States government on matters of science and technology, mostly of a sensitive nature, also found reason to believe that the Indies short-tailed cricket could be the little motherfucker causing this shit.
No.
So the group performed a pulse repetition analysis of audio captured in Cuba and audio of these crickets and found they were remarkably similar. I actually was going to play some of that, but then I thought, what if that's how you spread the shit and then all of our listeners now have Havana Syndrome?
What was it, like the fucking Ring? Like you hear it and then you got 7 days you're going to fucking die or something?
Kind of like that. That's what I heard.
Did you find the recording?
No.
Did you?
No.
Oh.
No, I didn't. Why? And I'm not going to play it if I did. I was going to look for it, but I was like, yeah, but if I played that, it's probably not a good idea. Like every dog.
Then we're getting into some...
Yeah. Every dog around is just falling over.
On the door.
Right. So Fu doesn't believe...
Crashing into shit.
What is it?
People driving, listening, just crashing.
Yeah. Kind of like you.
I didn't crash. You fuck off. Not my fault.
I can only joke around because you're okay. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
I am.
Yes.
Well, okay is a relative.
Yeah, that is very true.
Physically, I'm okay.
Right. You're all right. All right.
Yeah.
So Fu doesn't believe this could be just a coincidence. Quote, the crickets have a chirp that's extremely annoying to the point where it can cause harm to you, he says. That's the theory I put my money on, but it's still unsolved. So now Alexander...
that's most crickets, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right? Like, you just hear a regular cricket, you're like, oh my God, I fucking swear, dude. I'll burn this house down until I find that thing.
I was always told if they're in your house, it's good luck.
That sounds like a cop-out.
That's hillbilly mentality is what that is right there. That's because they're too lazy to go get it. So they're like, no, that's good luck.
Jiminy's in the bathroom, man. Fucking Jiminy's in there. Leave him alone.
You seen that movie?
Bring you some wishes.
You seen that movie where he's up on that little wooden boy soldier. Fuck. Anyway, moving on. So now Alexander Stubbs of the University of California, Berkeley, and Fernando Montalegre, his name is Fernando Montalegre Z, okay, of the University of Lincoln.
Like the letter Z?
Like the letter Z. It's a hyphen Z. Montalegre
the letter Z.
Brought to you by the letter Z. Of the University of Lincoln in England, studied a recording of the sounds made by diplomats and published by the Associated Press. Quote,
okay.
There's plenty of debate in the medical community over what, if any, physical damage there is to these individuals, end quote. All right, so this is Stubbs talking in a phone interview. Quote, all I can say fairly definitively is that the AP released the AP released recording is of a cricket, and we think we know what species it is, end quote. So,
all right.
So when Mr. Stubbs first heard the recording, he was reminded of insects he encountered while on field work in the Caribbean. When he and Mr. Montalegre Z downloaded the sound file, they found that its acoustic patterns, such as the rate of pulses and most substantial frequencies, were very similar to the songs of a certain kind of insect. They found a striking resemblance to one species, that's right, the one we talked about before, the Indies short-tailed cricket. It's pretty... First of all, the fact that dude was sitting around and he heard it and immediately he was like, oh, I know what that's from. I remember in 1972, right. I was in the Caribbean and there was this cricket and he wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. I haven't been right since.
So this is my thing with this whole theory. It's to me, it's very similar to the toxin theory that they brought about, right? I looked as much as I possibly could to find whether there were these Indies short-tailed crickets
in these other areas,
any of these other places, and I found nothing about. Everywhere I looked, everything I said, it was like huge concentrations in like Jamaica and the Caribbean and things like that. Nothing about it being anywhere outside.
It's kind of weird,
right? So
yeah. Again, it fits the narrative for that specific area. That's it.
But then I started thinking.
You started thinking?
Then I started thinking, what if? So I started thinking, what if, say like the original ones in 2016, right? Maybe it was because of the crickets. Maybe the crickets were the problem, right? And somebody caught on and was like, oh, because people are releasing these recordings, there's all this shit happening, like, oh, it's these crickets, whatever.
And use that as like a scapegoat.
Somebody decided to take those recordings or go get their own recordings and weaponize those recordings, right?
Okay. I mean, like, maybe that's conspiratorial, but yeah, why not?
Well, that's, me.
I mean, everything about this is all conspiratorial. So
exactly. I mean, but like, who's to say that somebody, like, originally it could have been something innocent like that, like some crickets being assholes, right? And then someone was like, maybe we can use this.
It's very possible. But this does go on to say something which I think is pretty funny here. It says there's one hitch. The cricket song differs from the Cuban recording in one crucial respect. The noises heard by the diplomats were erratic, while the insects made high-pitched, rapid-fire pulses. Stubbs suspected that this mismatch might be an artifact of the recording itself. Diplomats made their recordings inside houses, while biologists have recorded the crickets in the wild. And of course, it's, they're blaming it on the fucking recording. They're like, oh, no, it has to be this. But it sounds totally different. It's the recording. I swear. It's the recording.
But, to be fair, acoustics inside and outside are completely different. So
yeah, very true. Very true. Because, dude, inside a house, a cricket's
you got
loud.
Walls, ceilings, and it's bouncing so like if you're trying to record in a room,
yeah,
whatever they were using, you're getting shit off of this wall, off of that wall. So, I don't know.
It's possible. So, but then,
it sounds like bullshit to me.
Stubbs played the cricket recording in a house, and as the calls, of the cricket bounced off the walls, they echoed like the irregular pulses heard on the Cuban recording.
There you go.
So there it is. So apparently, some cricket song experts reviewed the report and analysis and felt that the analysis was well done and did a great job supporting the theory. Yes.
What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living over there? I'm a cricket song expert.
Yes, I am an expert on cricket songs.
Oh,
yes. And
yeah. How long did it take you to, was there a lot of schooling for that?
Well, yes, I had to go to cricket school.
Cricket school.
And then cricket college, of course.
Yes. Okay. So like cricket secondary college, like it was like a secondary school?
I actually have my master's in 14 different types of cricket songs.
Oh.
Yes.
What is your favorite cricket song?
It's Shout at the Devil.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What kind of cricket does that?
The Motley Crew from the West Indies. It's fucking ridiculous. But that dude has a job. And it doesn't say a guy. It says some cricket song expert. So there's multiple.
There's more than one.
Correct.
There's many cricket song experts.
Maybe there is a cricket school. We don't know. There could be.
Maybe that's like a minor when you like have biology. They're like, would you like to learn about cricket songs? No, I fucking don't.
Yeah. Why would I do that? Yeah. So now Mr. Stubbs did concede his conclusion does not rule out an attack on U.S. diplomats. Okay.
No. See, weaponized crickets.
Yeah. Well, listen, there's been a lot of crazier shit that's been weaponized as far as animals are concerned. Rats.
Yeah.
Bats.
Dolphins. Bats.
Yeah. Like there's been all kinds of shit. So it's possible. He goes on to say, quote, it's entirely possible that they got sick with some other completely unrelated thing that was not a sonic attack or that they were targeted in some other way. Wait, so
this is what he's saying. Like, this is literally what the guy's saying. We did this study. We are pretty much sure that it's crickets and their song. We did all this research, all these recordings, and we're like 99.9% positive. But it's entirely possible that it could be something completely unrelated. So,
that's exactly what it says. Oh man.
Make up your fucking mind, dude.
Yeah,
it either is or it's not. Like,
fall on the grenade and stay there, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So Dr.
Dude, if you're gonna convince yourself that it's crickets, dude, just don't
stick with it.
That's such like a bitch way. Like, but I'm not saying it's it could be.
I'm not saying it's crickets, but it's crickets.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So Dr. Douglas Smith, who led the medical examination of the U.S. diplomats, questioned how much a single recording could reveal about the experience. He noted that some patients did not report hearing anything unusual, while others heard a range of sounds. Quote, it could be like a low-tone motor or metal scraping, or like driving in a car with the back window open. This is Dr. Smith saying this. Director of the Center for Brain Injury and Repair at the University of Pennsylvania.
Right.
Yeah. Dr. Smith would not rule out the possibility that some diplomats might have heard crickets, but said that that had no bearing on the damage they suffered. Quote, these patients have gone through a lot, he said. Quote, I would like to know what the sounds are, but for us, the most important thing is really what's going on in the patient's brains and what we can do about it. So there's actual like physical damage happening to these people's brains.
Yes, absolutely. And it's fucking ridiculous.
You can't tell me it's a fucking cricket.
No,
because how come we've never, those crickets have been around for how long and we're just hearing about this now?
Right.
Come on.
Well, I don't know. How long have those crickets been around, John?
Well, let me ask my friend, the cricket expert. He says,
several years, at least.
Several years, at least. Yes. They actually started off playing Buddy Holly songs, as a matter of fact. Yes. So they've been around for a minute. Son of a bitch. So the information about the cricket theory was taken from two sources, an article from The Independent and another from the Northern College of Engineering. Okay, so all this being said, what in the fuck is going on? Okay. Are there even those types of crickets in Europe? And you said you looked, you couldn't find anything, right?
I couldn't find any evidence of those types of crickets outside of like the Caribbean and like Jamaica and Cuba, like that kind of stuff. Like it just, there might be some like maybe like in like Florida, like that area, like just, you know, caught a ride on some cargo or something, but there's nothing. Like I Googled so much crap trying to figure out where these goddamn things were from, and like I got nothing.
Well, of course it'd be in Florida if it was anywhere, let's be honest.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's close enough, and people, you know, just, I mean, bugs do that. Like, we have so many invasive species here that come over in ships because, you know, just cargo ships and shit. Right. So I guess it's possible. But at the same time, like, what are the living conditions in Austria for a cricket that is normally found in fucking Jamaica? Like, it's a completely different environment.
Yeah,
like
the climate's totally different there.
Who's to say they could even survive, you know?
Yeah. So I don't know. Now, could it be a combination of the recorded cricket noise and it being used on a sonic attack or as a sonic attack here? Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, bro.
As of now, everything that we've discussed are all theories, and all we know for sure is that there's some weird shit happening here. Now, real fast before we go into the movies, you said you actually watched an episode of, you know, one of our favorite shows, right?
Yeah,
History's Greatest Mysteries. Right.
So I didn't actually watch the whole thing.
Okay.
But as I was doing the research for this, it was just kind of strange that
it popped up.
I found this, and as I was doing the research, when I started researching the cricket theory, I came across an article that was it actually, so that the Dr. Fu guy, I believe Fu,
our boy Fu,
he is actually on an episode of History's Greatest Mysteries discussing this Havana Syndrome and the cricket theory, and that was released in July, and I didn't know that until I was like almost done with this, and I sent you that message. I got pissed off. I was like, God damn it! Like, but so there is, if you're looking for more info on it, and let's be honest, it's I mean, it's definitely an interesting, you know, in the way they present it on that show. Obviously, if anybody watched you know, it's a good show.
Me?
Yeah, you. They do a good job. So I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing, but I've watched snippets of it, and it looks pretty good. So if this is interesting,
I'm gonna have to go and watch that now.
Go check that episode out, and you might learn something more. Like I said, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing, and let's be honest, we might be completely way off base because, you know, we're idiots. So who knows? Yeah, but it was. You just cut me the fuck off, dude.
Know the cue, buddy.
It was like my Oscars acceptance speech where they just start playing the music.
Wrap it up.
Get off the stage.
No, so I definitely want to see that one. So we are talking about the top 10 insect horror films, right?
Oh, yeah.
And this is coming from lovehorror.co.uk.
Oh, yeah.
So the Brits.
I got some good lists, actually. I might be dipping back in that list well, because I got some good ones.
All right. I'm going to see how many of these I've actually seen. You've probably seen all of them.
I think I saw all but like one. I think there was one on there that I had never seen before.
Well, number 10 from 1988 is Slugs. And
I've seen that one.
Be prepared for a slimy and gruesome ride as an infestation of mutant slugs terrorizes a small town, feeding on unsuspecting... Oh, you haven't seen this one? On an unsuspecting victim in a gory spectacle of horror. Ugh, slugs. That sounds gross.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, I don't. What is the one I'm thinking of that had like all the like little? It might be on here actually, like the little black like slug things that were going inside people's mouths and then going in their body and shit.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about too.
It wasn't slugs though.
No, I know.
It's got a weird name to it. I can't remember what the hell it's called.
It'll probably come to me. I know exactly what you're talking about, though.
So this one, number 9 from 1985, is Phenomena. Have you seen this? Something like a phenomena. Phenomena.
Maybe.
This is
I don't remember.
Italian horror maestro Dario Argento weaves a...
Oh, it's an Argento movie.
Oh, yeah, so
yes,
it's going
I've
to
seen
be
it.
weird as shit. Weaves a mesmerizing tale of a young girl with a special connection to insects, entangling her in a series of grisly murders that must be solved.
On a side note, his daughter is super fucking hot.
Who?
Yeah.
Who? Dario Argento?
Yeah.
Oh, I was hoping that's who you were talking about.
His daughter is very good looking.
You just had to get that out there.
I was
On a scale.
Have you ever seen was it fucking Land of the Dead? I think it was Land of the Dead. With
I've seen them all, yeah.
It's the one where they're is it Dennis Hopper? He's like the bad guy in the city. Like they have a big walled city, and fucking John Leguizamo's in it.
I think so. It's a newer one, right?
Yeah, it's newer. But then like the zombies start like thinking. Like there's that big black dude is like the main zombie, and he's like teaching them how to like use guns and shit. She's in that. She's like the girl that's in that movie. She's like the main girl.
Oh, okay.
She's been in a bunch of other stuff too, but she's
I think I know who you're talking about.
She's not bad.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how high are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Not at all right now, actually.
Really?
I'm high on life, bro. That's all I need.
Listen, Ohio just passed the thing, man. We're going to see what happens. So,
and I am so excited.
We're all excited. So number 8 is The Swarm from 1978.
I've seen that.
Witness the chaos and devastation caused by a massive swarm of killer bees as they descend upon unsuspecting towns, leaving a trail of the bees, leaving a trail of death and destruction in their wake. I don't think I've seen that one.
I have.
That's not the one with. No, that's Wicker Man. I'm thinking of. Yeah,
that's
where the bees come from.
Yeah.
Cage,
yeah.
Next one, number 7 from 1974, Phase 4. Yes, no.
No. That's a no for me.
Okay.
It's a no for me, dog.
This thought-provoking and visually stunning film delves into the battle between humanity and highly evolved superintelligent ants as scientists attempt to understand and overcome their growing threat.
Were they diplomats? You were hoping.
Son of a bitch. We can only hope that they were little ants with suits.
A swarm of tiny businessmen with little briefcases.
Fuck. Number 6 is The Bay from 2012.
The Bay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I haven't seen that one.
Explore a found footage style eco horror film where an ecological disaster.
I hate found footage.
Yeah, you're not a fan of those. Turns a coastal town into a breeding ground for deadly waterborne parasites, causing havoc and unleashing gruesome consequences.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay with that.
Number 5, amazing, 1990. Any idea what it might be?
If I'm not mistaken, it's my favorite movie on this list. It's probably Arachnophobia.
It is Arachnophobia. Yes. Arachnophobia, beware. This film spins a web of suspense and terror as a small town falls victim to a deadly breed of spiders, weaving a tale that will make your skin crawl. John Goodman's in this.
Goodman, man.
John Goodman. And what's his name?
Great in that movie, too.
From Dumb and Dumber.
Yes, Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels. Yeah. It's a good. I went to the theater and saw that.
It's a great movie.
That's how old I am.
If you don't like that movie, you can fuck off.
Then fuck you. Number 4 from 1954.
Ooh.
Any thoughts?
No.
Okay. Them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Step back in time to witness one of the earliest examples of insect horror. Giant radioactive ants emerge from the depths.
Say it's more ants, isn't it? Yeah.
Threatening humanity's existence and leading to a desperate fight for survival. Ooh.
These are giant diplomats. They have giant briefcases.
and
crushing you under their many wingtip shoes.
And level 4 clearance. Number 3 from 1976, greatest year ever. This is Squirm.
So this is one that I think I've seen this one, but I was like, I might be getting it confused with a newer movie, but I feel like I've seen this one.
This is pretty amazing. Prepare to squirm. I see what they did there. As a town becomes infested with carnivorous, electricity-driven worms.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen this, but I might be mistaking it for something else.
turning an idyllic countryside into a nightmare of wriggling terror.
Oh.
Number 2, both of these next two are awesome. Number 2, 1997. I'll give you a hint. It's Guillermo del Toro from 1997.
Guillermo del Toro. I love Guillermo.
Mm-hmm. Guillermo.
I don't know what it is, though.
Really? It's Mimic.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, yeah.
It's a great movie.
Okay.
Delve into Guillermo del Toro's atmospheric tale of genetically engineered insects that mimic their human prey, resulting in a thrilling battle for survival in the dark underbelly of the city.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
I always forget about that one from him, man.
Oh, it was rad.
He's got a couple that are like under the radar. You're like, oh fuck, that was him, wasn't it?
Have you watched that his on I think it might be on Netflix. I'm not sure. It's the Cabinet of Curiosities.
I've watched them all, yeah.
Yeah. I got into them for a minute.
Most of them were pretty good. There was a couple that were just like too
weird,
too far out there. Like,
weird.
Yeah. There was like 2 of them that I was like, meh. The rest of them were pretty solid, though.
Yeah. And the number 1, 1986. Thoughts? Come on, you've got to be able to nail this one.
1986.
1986.
Movie?
It's an insect horror film. I will give you a hint that it was a remake.
It was a remake?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And the remake was from way back in like the original was way back in the 50s.
Sometimes, yeah, they like, because there was like, those kind of movies were like getting popular back then, and they would like any animals. Like there was the one with like the giant rabbits, like the Night of the Lepus or whatever the fuck it was called. And there was, dude, I'm telling you, it was,
the Night of the Sonic Crickets. That's that's the next one coming out. No, this is The Fly, dude.
Oh, The Fly, of course.
Yeah, come on. So David Cronenberg's masterpiece showcases the tragic transformation of a scientist into a grotesque human-insect hybrid, exploring themes of body horror and psychological decay.
So gross, dude.
So good.
So gross.
The Brundle Fly.
Yes.
Yeah, it was amazing. It has Jeff
Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That you guys all know from the Marvel movies and being Mr. Whatever. But in this one, he turns into a fly and pukes on his food.
Scientist.
Or the scientist
from Jurassic Park.
Or yeah. It's a big pile of shit.
I remember him in movies such as Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yes.
And
that was such a
some other ones.
Weird ass movie.
It was.
Yeah. All right, so those are the movies, and that was the Havana Syndrome, and yeah, nobody knows what the hell it really is, and it's still kind of, I would assume, still going on to this day.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't really, I didn't find too many, like, I think like 2002-ish was like the last cases that I saw reported. There may have been a couple like more recent. I know they're still trying to fucking figure out what it is. I know they're like actively still trying to figure out what the hell it is.
Yeah, they should.
They should try to like, well, to try to prevent it in other places. And it's like, so to me, it's like all these theories about like, it was something that like crickets, or it was like the toxins. It's just like that to me is like, I can't see it.
It doesn't fit.
If you're gonna admit that there were cases all over the fucking world, but then you can't say that it was crickets that are indigenous to one area and you can't find them anywhere else, or it was toxins that just happened to be being sprayed in one spot at one time, but not in fucking Vienna or Taiwan. You know what I mean? Like 5 years later. So I feel like there's definitely something. There's something behind it that I don't believe it's natural. I don't believe it was an accident. I think that it was. I believe it to be some sort of coordinated effort to like, even if it was just like a test, like they're just fucking testing something out and it's leading, possibly to lead to something bigger or whatever. But
going into a technological age of weaponry and whatnot. I mean, dude, like look at pulse guns and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like you've got guns that literally can like go through like tanks and shit and it's just it's a pulse that shoots this like rod out of it. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like we're going into this weird. So who knows? It very well could be. But the crazy part to me is that there's history there of this.
Sure, it's been like sound and things like that have been in microwaves and that have been used before, and like I was saying earlier, like they have they have like basically guns, like scaled down versions of that they can use to concentrate sound waves like at people to, you know, I mean, even like riots, right? Like, so there's like riots going on. They have those trucks drive around that play these fucking piercing noises that literally will make you just freeze up, right? Because there's certain frequencies that when they play them and when they're loud enough, like they will literally like
stun you.
It will fuck your inner ear up and your equilibrium so bad that you literally just freeze. You can't move. It paralyzes you.
Yeah, it's like it incapacitates you right off the rip. Yeah, that shit's no joke.
It's a non-lethal way to just fuck you up for a second. And you know what? Like, honestly, if that happens to you, you're going to get up and be like, all right, I should probably fucking go before that happens again. Right? It's crowd dispersal and things like that. And like, who's to say they're not doing something similar on a different scale to like, honestly, if you look at the grand scheme of it, right? Like it's almost more of an annoyance. Like, obviously there's the physical ramifications.
Yeah. Right? That's the part that gets me too. Like, I can understand something being annoying and like maybe some, because your inner ear, dude, it controls so much.
It's super sensitive.
Right. But to have
fuck up.
brain damage from it, that's
There's
crazy.
Physical evidence of brain damage and things like physically happening to somebody's brain and nervous system. Like that's more than fucking crickets. Like, there's no way that's crickets.
Yeah, it has to be. Because if it was, again, me going back from what I said earlier, if it was, then why have we not heard anything about it before? Crickets have been around since before.
Why aren't people in Jamaica constantly having this problem?
Right. Yeah, it seems very focused. But I can tell you it's probably not like a microwave gun or something like that, only because like it would only affect the outside of your head, not the inside, because we all know microwaves don't cook the inside of anything.
They do. You just have to put it on longer.
You got to mix it up. You got to stir it up. So listen, if you liked what you've heard from us, consider being a show producer by heading over to the midnighttrainpodcast.com and clicking on the Patreon button, or at patreon.com/the Midnight Train Podcast. For as little as $5 a month, you can get all kinds of cool stuff like custom shirts, custom posters, custom stickers, a plethora of bonus episodes, and way more. So if you're a diehard Midnight Train fan and want to help produce this mofo, hey, do us a favor. Sign up for Patreon, get the bonus episodes, and you'll be an ace in our books, right?
I mean, we love you all anyways, but we love those guys more.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and if you listen on Spotify, make sure to rate us over there, and on Apple. I guess Apple's
Apple.
I did say that weird. Over there on that Apple.
If you listen to the Apple, you have one of those phones.
Do you have the Apple? Do you listen on the Apple? Do you?
Do you have one of those phones the iPhone that everyone has? Whatever those Apple iPhones are.
Fuck my life. Anyway. So listen, we can't thank you guys enough for all the love and support we've received from you, and you guys sticking it out with us. We definitely appreciate it. And you guys do keep the train moving. And like we said, we're going to be coming out with these, and we're still working on the nuances of how we're doing this right now as far as like audio and video, hopefully coming soon. And like, seriously, we can post links up, and if you guys want to jump on, I might be able to actually encrypt it into the website, where if you want to just go watch while we're recording, there it is.
Yeah.
Just shoot out like a mass email.
Then, that's cool too.
Yeah. So again, thank you. And a very, very, very special, this is always super loud. I'm going to turn it down real quick.
That's special.
Special, and they're apples. So this is very special to all of our great Patreon producers, our first class passengers, and our fucking poopers. Yeah. A very fearless executive producer. Thank you to Jacob Peters, Stoner Babe 6'9". There you go. Tim Karras, Zoe Miller, Tracy Valancourt, Edgar Rodriguez, Jenny Wynn, Riley with no last name, Chris Connors.
Did you say Tracy Valancourt?
Yes.
Like Vicky Valancourt from Waterboy?
Same last name. I wonder if they're related.
Very nice. I like it, man. Of course they are. I mean, why wouldn't they be?
Right. To Chris Connors, Amanda C., Micah Purdue, Dale Wells, George DeJesus, Mega McTerry, Amanda Denz, Chris Lucas, Joseph El Ramo, Nathan Diegman, Caitlin McKinney, Maggie Brothers, Miles Campbell, Brian Gunzelman, Pumpkin Escobar, Mac Doherty, Janet Sherrill, Chad Flint, Chris McLeod, Justin Kowalczyk, Christina Skelton. Yes, I'm still shouting you out there, you crazy kooky person
dude.
there. From the Sisters Skeleton podcast.
Sisters Skeleton podcast.
Maria Gibbs to Chainsaw.
What the fuck?
Courtney Batchelor, Katie Brabenick, and of course, our very good friend, Bill Birch. And do you want to do the oh good for you? Or
No, my kids are sleeping.
Oh, damn it. Oh, good
It's
for
on you, pal.
I did it.
Oh, good for you.
So spread the word, and if you want your name to be mentioned on this show and for us to be forever grateful, please become a Patreon producer. Get all those bonus episodes. We promise there's going to be a shitload more of those coming. And once we figure this thing out, maybe we'll just make the video Patreon only. We could do that too.
You know what's that? I like that idea.
Why not? Yeah.
You know what's awesome about that list too?
What's that?
There's some old school fucking motherfuckers on that list, dude.
Absolutely. From like the get-go.
Oh, geez, man.
And Bill.
Day one.
Yep. Bill is one of those. And he, every time we don't have an episode or something, he's like, dude, what the fuck you doing? He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You guys going to have an episode? What are we doing? So he lets me know.
It's been like 6 months. What the hell's happening?
He's like, come on, man. So yes. In the meantime, listen, stay away from those fucking crickets. Because
we don't
know.
Oh, yeah.
Stay away from.
If you hear crickets, you fucking run.
Because they're probably hanging out with dipla ants. And we don't want that.
And you're gonna get goddamn brain damage from crickets.
From fucking crickets. So stay safe out there and
don't fuck crickets.
Don't fuck. Please don't fuck crickets. That could be an entirely bad thing. Anyway, stay safe out there, and as always, choo choo, motherfuckers.
Go home and get your fucking shine box.
Don't fuck crickets.